I know that you will be very busy with your works, but it is just a 15 seconds of time which you are putting just to talk us. So just to say your feedback. Okay. So any which ways, coming back to the point. So this is the third demo session and the last and final demo session for you. And from tomorrow onwards, we will be into the concepts of AWS. Any which ways, what we are going to discuss in this session. So when we are coming into the session, we are going to discuss about a very interesting topic about the AWS global infrastructure. So what is this AWS global infrastructure and how we are going to work with the global infrastructure of AWS? And tomorrow we will start working with the IAM. Okay, so and then we will go into the concepts of, we'll start with IAM, we'll go into the EC2, and then, or else we'll start with IAM, we'll discuss about the networking concepts. Then we will go into the VPC, and then we will go into the concepts of EC2. And finally, we will go through the rest of the concepts. So this is the flow. Okay, to understand that, first things first, what you need to have here is, you need to have an AWS account. Okay, and further, so those who are attending to the session newly, welcome to DURGASOFT. I am Chaitanya. I will be your trainer for the upcoming 45 to 50 days of sessions apart from the demo. Okay, so today will be the final demo. I'm just I'm just remembering you. Okay, so yeah, let's start about this. What are the requirements? You need to have an AWS account. Right now, what happened means from July 15th, 2025, there are a lot of changes in the account creation. Previously, we used to have the free accounts for AWS. 1 year free account is there. But now they have changed the terms. The terms and conditions are, the new terms and conditions are, you will get an account for only 6 months. The free tier account will be there only for the 6 months, and rest of the thing you have to be a paid account, just like how Azure is providing. But Azure is providing only for 1 month. But next, after 1 month, you have to be choose. You have to choose the account as a pay-as-you-go method. Here also the same thing is happening, but they are providing it for 6 months. So to open an AWS account, you need to have a credit card, credit or debit card, which is a very, I don't say it's a new one, but you need to have a credit or debit card which is unused for for creating an AWS account. Previously, you have an AWS account, and if you have a debit card, you use this debit card to create that AWS account. Then whatever the debit card you have used previously, that is not going to be working to create a new AWS account. For creating a new AWS account, you need to use an debit card which is unused for creating the AWS account. That is the first criteria. And the second criteria is that unused email ID should be there. Okay. So previously I have so many email accounts. Can I create an AWS account with the same email? No, it cannot be possible. So you need to use an unused email account. And the third one will be, so you have to provide the one government ID, whether it might be a PAN card details, or else you have to provide driving license or voter ID. Any one government identification card is required, so that and not only that, you need to upload the soft copy also. So whenever you are creating the AWS account, you need to upload the soft copy. So these are the three primary things which are very recommended to create an AWS account. And mobile number is okay. You can use the old mobile number also, but my recommendation is that use the new mobile number itself. If you have a new mobile number, please use this new mobile number. That will be very helpful for you to create without any disturbances. You can create an AWS account. Otherwise, if any one of these things are used before for creating the AWS account, then your AWS account with $100 of credit will not be there. So you cannot create an AWS account with $100 of free credits. So they are going to give the free credits for you, but that free credits will not be into your AWS account. So mine is a old AWS account which I have taken 2 years back, 1.5 year back. So now if you see, Where you can see the credits means once you create the AWS account, if you go to the billings and cost management, here you can see there will be credits. So in this credits, you can see you can see that credited $100. So these $100 are used to what I can say, they are going to deduct from these credits whatever the resources that you are creating, all those resources, how much cost it is happening. So those resources amount will be debited from this 100 credits. So my recommendation is that please use these at any cost. You have to use these four things mandatorily. Otherwise, what is going to happen? Account will be created, but you won't get the free $100 of credit. So if you want to get free $100 of credit, then definitely what you have to do, you have to look after these things. So this is mandatory for newly creating, whatever the newly creating AWS account is there, these four are mandatory. So that is how you can create your AWS account. So after creating the AWS account, okay, now am I clear with this? Any questions here? How you can create an AWS account? Am I clear with this? Any questions? Anyone? Can you please? Yeah. Yeah, Satish.
No, sir. Actually, I have created AWS account 6 months ago. It will be a 12 months free tier account. Can I use that?
Yeah, that's a 12-month free tier account. You can use that. Before, I mean, if you create your AWS account on July 14th also, you will get an 1 year of free tier account. That is up to July 14, 2026. You will have that. But who are creating the AWS account after July 15th, 2025, they will be getting the AWS account only for 6 months. And if they have to create the AWS account, they have to use an unused credit or debit card, unused email address, and unused mobile number for AWS account creation. PAN card or voter ID, driving licenses should be uploaded into the account creation. So these are mandatory. Okay. But before on July 14th at 11 o'clock in the night, 11 o'clock also, if you create an AWS account, that's a free tier account for 1 year. But after 12 o'clock on July 15th, whoever is creating, these rules are applicable. Any questions?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Right then. So please create this AWS account. This is very important. So whoever is having any questions related to the creating the AWS account, please let me know so that we can create the account today. Okay, so but one thing is very important, that you need to have an unused debit card, credit card. You need to have a soft copy of any government ID. You need to have an unused email address. You need to have a new mobile number, or else at least the mobile number should not be used for creating the AWS account. So these four are mandatory. But this is not a very particularly, I'm not considering the mobile number, but it is good to have. Okay. Right. And then once you create your AWS account, you will be logging into your account. Once you log into your account, the home page will be looking like this. You won't have this recently visited services won't be there. Okay, it will be completely blank. Why? Because I'm continuously using these services, so it will be showing you on this recently visited services. But in general, what is going to happen? You won't see this recently visited services. In AWS, the major things are, so this is the home button, and if you see, this is the grid icon, whatever the grid icon that you are seeing on your AWS account. When you click on this, you can see multiple services that are provided by AWS. These are all the services that are provided by AWS. Among the 270 plus services are provided by AWS. So here we are going to discuss about compute. In compute, we will be discussing about AWS EC2, image build, Elastic Beanstalk, and global view is common, Lambda, and AWS Outpost is a theoretical one. It's not a practical one. Serverless application repositories. And then containers, we'll discuss about ECR, Elastic Container Service, Elastic Kubernetes Service, AWS EKS. Okay. Redshift is not at all. Now we are not discussing about that. We'll see if there is anything I can tell you in the further. I will let you know about that. And then we will be discussing about databases. In databases, we will be discussing about creating the databases, database management. And then we'll discuss about DocumentDB, DynamoDB, and Elastic Cache. And then we'll go down. And developer tools, we'll discuss about Cloud9, Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell is an integral part into the EC2 and the code artifact and code build. So these concepts we will cover. Like that, there are so many services that we are going to cover, known or unknown. We'll discuss about all these things in the session. Okay. And then we can search for the services. So in the services, we are going to search for multiple services, and then we can see the Cloud Shell is available. We will discuss about this. And then here you can see the notification. If anything that should be given by the AWS, they will, I mean, if any notification is given by the AWS, they will provide it on this notification. And here you can see this is the support. Okay. If you have any queries, or else if you want to learn anything, here you can see there is a documentation. So from the documentation, you can learn the things. Or else if you want to contact to the support center, unfortunately, what happened? You rolled out a service, knowingly or unknowingly, you rolled out a service, and that service created a lots of chaos in your account. Like it is consuming some $100 at a time. Then what you can do here is you can raise a case over here. You can create a case and say that I am having a problem with the billing, or else you can say that technical also. If you have any problem with the technical also, you can say this. But right now we can have a problem with the billing. So what is the service and where it is, what is the main problem? We can say this in the support cases. And then this is the just how the theme should be looking like, dark or light. So if you see, this is the theme for theming purpose, it is that. And here you can see we have the regions. Now when you go here, this is a region. So this is first step of your global infrastructure, global infra of AWS environment. The first one is region, and the second one is AZ. AZ means availability zone, and the third one will be the edge locations. We'll discuss about these concepts in detail. And here you can see we have, for free tier account, we will be having some regions. So there are 17 regions that are not enabled for this account, which means that these regions are not enabled for the free tier account. If you want to enable, you can enable it also. Manage regions. You can select the regions which you want to enable. For me, Asia Pacific Hyderabad is disabled. So now what I can do, I can click on enable. So see here, you can use the AWS region after AWS finishes preparing it. For most accounts, the preparation is completed within few minutes. However, in some cases, the preparation may take longer depending on your account configuration and resource usage. So if I enable the region over here, so it will take some time, and I can see that region on my, what I can say, in the regions list, I can see that Hyderabad will also be included over here. So like that, a few regions are disabled and a few regions are available for us. Depending on your requirement, depending on your company requirement, you can enable or disable the regions. So we'll discuss about these regions, any which ways, what is meant by a region, what is meant by availability zone. And if you want to know about your account, here you can see account ID is there, and billing and organizations, everything is available over here. Anyways, we will discuss about this in the billing optimization and all the things. So first of all, let us understand what is this region. So region is a location on Earth. Okay, just simple words. Region is just a location where data centers are created. Where data centers are created. For example, now what is meant by a data center? I will come to that. For example, there is a company called as uh, Polaris. Okay, just take an example. There is a company, IT company called as Polaris. Polaris IT Solutions. So this is the company name. Now this Polaris company is just a startup company. It is not a very widely used company. So there is a Polaris company is there, and now it will provide the IT solutions for the end customers. Okay, for the clients or end customers. Now they have two teams. One is the development team, and the other one is the operations team. Development team will not be included into the server operations, so there will be an operations team who will be much into the operations. Now, if this operations team has to create a server, either they will have a server room. Inside the office, there will be a server room. Inside the server room, for example, if you take this is the server room. Inside the server room, what they can do here is they can implant a server. They can create a server. Okay, they can create a server, and to create, and inside the server they can run multiple virtual machines. Like that, they can create multiple servers inside the server room. Okay, this is like a small data center. So it's just a small room. Inside the room, you will have multiple servers. If you come to the data center, inside the data center, what you will have means you will have the servers. There will be a very big data center will be there for the same company. If the company grows out very well and they are into the Fortune 500 companies, they want to have their own data, not in a small rooms. They want to have a very big data center for their operations. Why? Because there are so many clients. For each client, they need to create a server. For that reason, what they are doing here is they are going to create a data center. So inside the data center, you will have the racks. Okay, so these are the server racks which are created inside the data center. So like that, you will have the multiple racks. So inside the racks, what you are going to have means inside the racks, you will have the servers, networking devices. So servers are of three types depending on their size and shape. Okay, there are three types of servers depending on the size and shape. That is called as form factor. Okay, so one of the server is tower server, rack server, blade server. These are the three types of servers that we are having. So tower server means it will be looking like just like your CPU. Tower server, it's just looking like your CPU only. These are called as tower servers. Dell, HP, IBM. So these are all the manufacturers of these tower servers. And you can start, the starting range will be from 2 lakhs to it can go up to any it's your wish. So depending on the resources that you are using, it can go up to 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs depending on your requirement. And then you are having the rack servers. So rack servers will be just looking like a small what I can say, your briefcase. Okay, so this is how the rack servers will be looking like. A few Lenovo, IBM, and Huawei, or else there is HP rack servers are also available. So these are all the rack servers. If you see this diagram, in this diagram, you will have everything related to your server configuration. So if you see here, so whatever you are seeing here, this is called as a rack server. One second. So if you see here, this is called as a rack server, which is mounted into the rack, and whatever he is putting here, this is called as a blade. And this entire equipment is called as a blade server. So there will be chassis. Inside the chassis, he is inserting a blade. So into this blade, you will have the CPU and RAM. A small amount of CPU and small amount of RAM will be there, like 4 CPU, 8 GB RAM. So if you combine all this, this is a 4x4 rack. I mean 4x4 blade. So this is called where you are having the 16 servers, 16 blades will be there. So this is a blade server, and here you can see this is the tower server. Okay, so like that, inside the data center, you will have the racks, and each and every rack is interconnected. Here you can see the networking equipment will be there inside the data center. Each and every rack is interconnected through the networking cables, and then you are having the storage configurations. So like in our computer, how we are having the storage, like inside the computer, we will have the hard disk. No? Hard disk will be there. Like that, for the servers, we won't have the internal storage configuration. So the storage will be on the network, and this network will be connected to our servers. The storage will be connected to our servers over the network. And storage is also multiple types of storages are there. The best storage equipment is SAN storage. Okay, storage area network will be there. So this is how the SAN storage will be there. Most of the data centers will be using the SAN storage. This is the SAN storage. Look at that. There will be clients or else I will call it as servers. There will be servers, and there will be a fibers channels which will be there, and there will be SAN storage will be there, and SAN server will be there. Here there are storage. So here you are having two storage devices are there, SAN storages are there. So two are interconnected with each other. Both of them will be sending the heartbeat messages. So the data will be stored in both the SAN storages, SAN devices. Nothing but a hard disk. SAN is nothing but a combination of multiple hard disks will be there. So where is it? SAN base. SAN base. SAN storage base. SAN storage base. If you see, this is how the sandbox will be looking like, or else. So this is how a sandbox will be looking like. And inside the sandbox, what you will have, you can insert your hard disk. Look at that. These are all the base. So you can just open how you are opening your cupboards in the same manner. If you press a button, this particular bay will be open. And here you can see the hard disks are implanted on that. So all these hard disks are combined together, and it is going to form a huge storage space. And that is the sandbox. So if you see this diagram, this sandbox, the one sandbox, whatever you are seeing is like this. So that is how you are going to maintain two sandbox to get a high availability. For example, due to any reason, if the network is disconnected from the sandbox, automatically the second sandbox will be coming into the picture, providing the data for the end users. So like that, high storage capabilities will be there for the SAN storages. This is NAS. Anyways, I will discuss about this in the storage configuration. There are three types of storages. One is DAS, directly attached storage, NAS, network attached storage, SAN means storage area network. These are the three types of storages that are available. And three types of servers are available depending on their form factor, tower, rack, and blade. So all these are interconnected with each other inside a space, or else inside a building called as a data center. So here you can see it's a small space. It's a small room. But when you see a data center, let me show you. Hmm. Hmm. I think this is not good. Hmm. If you look after this data center over here, come on, look at that. So if you see how trucks are looking like in front of a data center, they are just like a small toys. So inside, that much big is a data center is all about. So inside this data center, you will have some hundreds to hundreds of racks will be available. So like this, whatever you are seeing the racks here. So these type of racks will be available inside this data center. Some hundreds of racks will be there, and each and every rack will be equipped with the servers. So these racks are all equipped with the servers, and all the rack fitted servers will be there. Okay, so you can have the blade servers, rack servers, and tower servers inside these racks. Not only that, you can have the networking devices like switches, firewalls, and all the things. Okay, so these are all will be there inside the rack, and all the racks are interconnected with each other. Not a single rack. Every rack is interconnected with each other, and inside each server you will have a virtual machines. Okay, so whatever the EC2 instances that we are talking now, all the EC2 instances are the virtual machines only. Okay, virtualization is the platform for your cloud computing. Now, what is meant by virtualization? Anyways, we'll discuss in the further sessions, in the next session itself. But the point is, so inside the racks, inside the servers, you will have the virtual machines running. Those are nothing but your EC2 instances, which we are creating in our cloud environment. Okay, whatever the servers that I am deploying in the cloud environment, those are all the virtual machines which are created inside my physical server. So if you see, if I go to the EC2 instance, I have a server running over here. This is my EC2 instance, which is a virtual machine created inside that physical server. Now that physical server is in a rack, and that rack is in a data center. Now what is meant by a region? Region means Region is a location where we will have the combination of multiple data centers belonging to the Amazon. For example, I have an region called as, I have Amazon. In Amazon, there is a region. Region means it's just a location. Like, for example, if you are in India, okay. So in India, we have Mumbai location. In India, we have Mumbai location, and Mumbai location is one of the region. Inside the Mumbai location, you can have multiple data centers of Amazon. Okay, so I can have some combination of multiple types of data centers will be there. For example, there are 3 or 4 data centers combinedly in a single location. So that is called as an availability zone. So for example, now you have seen the data center, no? So like that, what you will have, like that, you will have 2 or more data centers. So this is data center 1, and you will have data center 2, and which are very near or else adjacent to each other. So these data centers are very adjacent to each other. And now this is called as an availability zone. Whatever you are seeing it, this is called as an availability zone. If I am having a data center of Amazon, which are very far to each other. For example, I am having 2 more data centers, which are from 60 kilometers from the first partition or else first availability zone. Then these are considered as a another availability zone. Availability zone means an availability zone is a concept of having the data centers. So it can have a single data center or else it can have the multiple data centers. But as of now, in this availability zone, you can have 2 or more data centers which are adjacent to each other within 1 kilometer range or else within 10 kilometer range. Then they are considered as a single availability zone. And if the data centers which are far from each other, some 60 kilometers to 100 kilometers range, then those data centers. So for example, for this data center and for this data center, if the distance is somewhere near to 60 kilometers, then that is called as an availability zone, second availability zone. Okay. So now this is, I will call it as AZ1, and this is AZ2. Okay. And if the session got disconnected, so I have, there is a power loss in my region here. If the session got disconnected, please stay here. Within 2 to 3 minutes, I will connect you back. I am running on the backup power right now. I'm just intimating you on this. Okay. So we are having availability zone 1, availability zone 2, where we will have the data center in each availability zone. And inside the data center, you will have the racks, and inside the racks, you will have the physical servers. Inside that, you will have the EC2 instances. So this entire combination of the availability zones will be coming into a concept, a location called as an region. So inside a region, you will have the availability zones, and inside the availability zones, you will have the data center. So now the point is how these regions are selected. So Amazon is selecting the regions. Right now, we are having 37 to 38 regions in AWS environment. When there are 37 regions are there, how AWS is selecting 37 regions? Okay, how AWS is selecting 37 regions, or else how it connected to 37 regions means, depending on the, one second guys. Okay, I hope I am audible to you. So depending, there are certain factors are there. The first and foremost factor is that the first thing what they are going to consider when I have to create a data center. So if I have to create a region, or else if I have to select it as a region, or else Amazon has to select it as a region, the first and foremost thing is power. How frequently, or else how I can get whether the data center is having the subsequent 2 or more power substations are there. If there is a power loss in one substation, I can get the power from the another substation, or else I will have my own generated power will be there. So this is how they are going to consider the how a data center plays. And the second one is internet. Okay, so the data center should not be in the center of the city, but it should not be, I mean, it should not be very far away from the city also. So it should be outskirts of the city. At the same time, it should have redundant supply of internet should be there. Okay, it should not have like only a bare minimum. I mean, only 10 Mbps, 20 Mbps should not be there. There should be 1 Gbps, 10 Gbps power, internet should be there. So they will connect with the internet service providers who will provide that much high speed internet. Okay, and the third one and the most important thing here is the data center should be very near to the water body. Every data center should be near to the water body to provide the cooling for the servers, and as well as if there is anything happen, unfortunately if something happens, some incident is happening, then also we need to have the water. So it should be near to the water body, and then they are going to check the climatic conditions. Okay, climatic conditions within some 6 or also some 6 decades, or else from past 6 decades or 10 decades, how many times the earthquake was hit on that particular region, within what I can say, how many times the cyclone was affected on that particular region. These are all going to take into the consideration before they create a data center. And finally, they will be checking out the criminal records of that particular region, and then they will select the region on that particular geographical country, or else I will call it as a continent. So if you see in India, we are having two such regions. One is the Mumbai region and the other one is the Hyderabad region. If you see in America, we have four regions. One is North Virginia, US East one, and that is Ohio, US East two. And then we are having California, and we are having another region called as Oregon. So these are the four regions where we are having, I mean, multiple data centers of AWS are available. The primary data center, the first data center where AWS was introduced is North Virginia location. So that is the primary main data center of the entire AWS. So if you see, did anybody? I mean, I already asked you about this in the first session. I'm asking you in this session also. Did anybody know about the disaster which has occurred on 20th of October for Amazon? Any article have you read? It's not a disaster, but have you ever heard that outage of AWS outage on October 20?
Yes, sir. C lines are I have got.
It's not about the C lines. Actually, what happened means there is a service called as Route 53. It's a DNS service, so which has been mismatched with the another. I mean, there is some issue with the DNS. Because of that, what happened means the entire services has gone down. So, did anybody are using this device called as Alexa? Did anybody are using Alexa devices? So, on 20th of October, Alexa devices has not properly working because of this issue. Not only that, the gaming platforms are not work. I mean, they did not work properly. So like that, we have so many problems when the Amazon goes down, but only one service which is not affected. So I said you in the first session itself, Netflix, the 100% applications are deployed on the Amazon, but Netflix was not even affected 0.001% also. Why? Because they have planned their DNS on a different platform, but not on the Route 53. We have an effect on Route 53. From Route 53, it affected the DynamoDB. From there, it is affecting the EC2 instance. So if you see whatever the global services that I have discussed, so Route 53 is a global service, and IAM is a global service. If you see whatever you are seeing like global, here you can see it is having a region. But if you see the support is global. Not only that, if you see IAM is also a global service. Route 53 is also a global service. So EC2 instances are the regional services. They are created, either the EC2 instances can be created on US East 1, or else we can create on AP South 1. So region services are not a problem. But we have the effect on, why? Because all the global services are deployed in the North Virginia location, US East 1. So it may be showing like global, but actually these applications, APIs and applications will be running on the servers which is created in North Virginia location. So the effect is on the North Virginia location. So that's why the entire services are not working properly on October 20. It took some 11 hours to repair that and to make it available to roll back to the normal state. Okay, so that much important is US East 1, North Virginia location. But anyways, the point is we have to discuss about the regions. So regions are nothing but a geographical location where you can have the multiple data centers. These data centers, which are very near to each other, they are called as an availability zones. And from one availability zone to the another availability zone, you need to have a minimum of 60 to 100 kilometers distance. Why? Because of the I may have heavy rain in one location. I might not that much heavy rain in the another location, like 60 to 100 kilometers. So if we are really unfortunate, then we can have both the availability zone down. So we can have a server in one availability zone running, and we can have another server, the same cloning of the same server in the another availability zone. So now what happens? Even though if the entire data center goes down, but still we can have the application running on the another server, another data center. So that's why what happens, we need to have the high availability. If I have to call a particular location as a region, definitely I need to have minimum to minimum two availability zones should be there. I cannot have a single availability zone to call it as a region. A region must have two availability zones. Now, some regions are having three availability zones, some regions are having four availability zones, some regions are having six availability zones. So that is how more number of availability zones, more number of what I can say, high availability of the servers will be there, high availability of data will be there. So this is the main case of how you are going to get the global infrastructure for your AWS environment. Now, do you understand what is meant by a region? What is meant by availability zones? Any questions?
No, sir, understood.
Everyone? Okay, good. Only one thing, guys. Again, I'm repeating the same in the middle of the session. Today is the last demo session. Those who are interested, please enroll for the course. Okay, fine then. There is one more type of global infrastructure. There is another type of infra that is called as edge location. What is this edge location? Have you ever heard the word called as cache or cache? What is this cache or cache? What is this?
A temporary storage location, the storage area. Hello, am I audible, sir? Hello.
Don't have an internet for your laptop or computer, but when you give google.com, the Google page will be displayed in front of your computer. How that is happened? Again, I'm asking you the question here. Please try to understand what is the question means. For example, you got disconnected with the internet. Okay, you got disconnected in the sense your computer got disconnected from the internet. Sometimes what happen means when you type google.com, the Google page will be displayed on your web browser. How that will happen? So this will happen because in our computer there is a DNS cache will be there. So the Google page is not coming from the source, from the Google web server. That Google page will be stored in our computer. From the computer cache, it is showing us. But after you type something, it won't be displaying that website. If you are not on the internet, it won't be displaying that. So which means that cache means why it is catching that, because if you want anything, so every time it should not go to the source. For example, let me take a very real life example. So you want to buy rice. If you want to buy a rice bag, will you go to the farmers and buy the rice, or else what you are going to do? Will you go to your nearest marts? How you are going to purchase the rice bags? Every time, every month, when the rice was so I mean, we don't have. I mean, we have to purchase the rice bags every month, no? So if the rice bag is empty, then what you are going to do? Every month you will go to the farmers and ask the farmers to give the rice bags, or else you are going to get it from the nearest markets.
We'll get from the nearest store.
You will get from the nearest stores, no? So in the same manner, here also the same thing will happen. So if you see a Netflix application is hosted in American servers. Now there is huge amount of data is there in Netflix, videos, audios, web series. There will be so many things in the Netflix. So if every data has to travel all the way from the Netflix origin location to your mobile or else to your laptop, it will take a lot of time. Every time when you want to watch a movie, so the request has to go to the Netflix server. From there, it has to download the video content into your mobile or into your laptop or into your TV. Then only you can stream it. So it is not a solution for that. Then what happened here means we got something thing called as CDN, content delivery networks are there. So here edge locations are also the same. Those are the data centers where this unstructured data is there, no? So the videos, audios, image files are there, no? So they will be loaded into your nearest edge location. So whenever you are accessing the application will be accessed from the origin. The application will be coming from the main server only. But the content, whatever the image files, video files, and audio files are there, they will be coming from your nearest location. So how we are going to get that and what is meant by CDN? Any which ways, we are having a session for that is called as CloudFront. We'll discuss in that session. So this is about the global infrastructure of your AWS environment. Anyways, if you don't understand the edge locations, I will tell you in the CloudFront also. We have a separate session for that. We will discuss on that. So this is the concept of your AWS environment and how many types of, how many what is the infrastructure of AWS environment, what is meant by region, what is meant by availability zone, what is meant by edge locations, and how data centers will be looking like, and what are the different types of servers that you are having, and different types of storages that you are having, how each and everything is interconnected with each other, and how you are going to plan a data center. So this is the concept which I want to tell you. And again, I just want to give you a small thing that is, I just want to tell you the sessions from tomorrow will be on 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The sessions will be commenced from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And the second one is it is all about the AWS environment. So for syllabus, yesterday I said you, day before yesterday also I said you, you can look after those videos. And this will be 45 days of session, 45 to 50 working days. Okay, 50 working days, that is equivalent to some 2.5 months it will take. So will it really going to take 2.5 months? Depending on the interest that you are showing, depending on how you are responding back to the queries, definitely it is going to take that time. If you are less responding, I will complete it by 45 days. If you are more responding, more interested to learn the concept, I will try to give more concepts into the topic. I will try to introduce more concepts into the topic so that it will be very helpful for you. So all I want is that the response. I don't want the students who will sit calmly in my session. My session should be a lively session. I don't want the students who are sitting calmly in the session. So I'm very clear about this. And the next one is pre-requirements. I already said you need to have the basic understanding about the Linux. Basic. I'm very basic. I don't want you to learn about the NFS. I don't want you to learn about the SE Linux, security enhanced Linux, and all this. I just want you to understand about what is CD, what is list, what is meant by user, how we can create a user, and how we can provide the permissions for the user. So very basic understanding of the Linux is required over here. And then you need to have the basic understanding about the networking. If you don't have, I will try to explain you when we go into the networking concept. And you need to have an AWS account. This is required. So we will not provide the AWS account for you. You need to purchase, you need to have an AWS free tier account. That is very mandatory to do the practicals. So every day is a practical session, guys. I want to make sure you understand this. It is not like I'm going to give you only one or two sessions of practicals on every session. No, every day is a practical. My teachings will be everything on the practical orientation only. I don't want to make my students or my trainees that they should not that they won't have the hands-on experience. I want my trainees to have the hands-on experience. So for that, definitely you need to have an AWS account. So this is the first thing. And the second one is, yeah, that's it. You need to have a laptop with good internet connection. Good internet connection. These are the requirements to learn this entire course. And that's it. So if you have any further queries, you can ask me now. So last 5 minutes I'm giving for you. You can ask me the questions. Whatever you have any doubts, if you have any doubts. Why? Because this is the last demo for you. And from tomorrow onwards, we will be diving onto the VPC, IAM configurations and all the things, which might be a theoretical as well as a practical concept. So from tomorrow onwards, it will be very crucial for you. So I request you, if you have any questions, any queries, you can put in front of me.
Sir, can you provide any notes like a PDF or Word document?
I will provide the documentation for you. AWS documents will be given.
Okay.
Yeah. AWS documents will be given to you every day. Whatever the videos are there, the session videos will be given to you from the Google Drive.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Okay. So then, if you don't have any questions, so who are interested to join the session, please join the session, and we will continue from tomorrow. Okay. Have a nice day, and we'll meet in the next session, guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you.